Hi there, welcome to the shack. So here's a few of what I consider to be the most important Sony shortwave portable radios from the past. I'm pretty fortunate to own some of the best ones, and I had sort of 3 or 4 on this shelf in the shack, and I thought, well, get the SW55 out and the SW100 and line them all up and have a little discussion about them. I thought that would make an interesting video. So there they all are, starting with the original 2001 from 1980. This is the radio that I saw in the shops, went out with my dad when I was a little kid, and it kind of blew my mind. It looked like it had come from the future. I'd never seen anything like it. All I'd really seen prior to that in terms of a shortwave radio that I aspired to owning was actually this, the Binatone World Star, which actually isn't a very good radio at all. It doesn't even tune the full shortwave broadcast bands. It only tunes what they call marine band, which is from about 1.8 to 4.4 megahertz. But there you go. So when I saw this, I was amazed, and lucky enough to buy one, I think, for about 50 quid on eBay just over a year ago. So that's the 2001 from 1980, and then there's the 2001D, which needs no introduction, from I think about 1983, and we all know about this radio, how brilliant it is. Manufactured until 2003, something like that, in production for about 18 years. Still probably my best overall radio. There's some modern stuff that's coming a bit closer now, the Eaton Satellite, even the XH Data D808, but I think overall the 2001D's probably still got it. And then its direct replacement, the Icf Sw from 1991. These things are still available on eBay. They come up pretty often, but people selling them want about 350 quid, which is a lot of money. This unit came from one of my good friends. We actually exchanged radios in the end. I gave him one of my Texans, and so the SW77 still highly sought after. I did some direct testing a couple of years ago. It's nearly up there with the 2001D, not quite, it's very, very close. And then the SW55, which some of you will know, I spent a long time taking on DX-peditions. This was the first kind of serious radio that I used for DXing. I still love the design of this radio. It's got like an internal speaker with a funnel. Brilliant bandwidth, audio bandwidth filters on that radio. No sync, but still very, very capable radio. And then a similarly capable radio, but with sync, the Icf Sw 7600G. This is the radio that was given to me by a friend of mine, a gentleman I met in Brazil during my first visit there, which was very nice, as I had owned one of these from new back in 97 or 98, and not used it and eBayed it a few years later. Silly me. So I'm lucky to have this one. And then finally, the Icf SW100. In terms of overall performance, this is probably as close to the 2001D as any of these other radios. Brilliant in terms of its form factor. It's just not much bigger than a packet of cigarettes. You all know I've used it on DX-peditions, and it's another important radio. So in sort of chronological order, you have the first portable digital radio, PLL radio, 1980, and then you've got 1983, and then 1999. That's about 1995, but only manufactured for about 3 years until 98, and the same. That's about that one. The 7600G was about 1995 to about 2000, and then the SW100 was manufactured from about, I think it was 94. From about 94, and then I can't remember how long that was in production. After that radio came the Icf Sw07, which was a small, similar sort of clamshell design radio with similar performance apparently to that. So there you go. There they all are in approximate chronological order. As I said, I'm fortunate enough to have all these Sony radios. There are a lot of other shortwave radio models, but I consider these to be probably some of the most important. There's also this, sometimes known as the Captain 55 or the ICF 5500. This radio dates back to 1974. I picked it up for 30 quid at the Harwell Amateur Radio Society sort of radio jumble last February. So I've had it nearly a year. Hasn't really appeared on the channel yet, although it should do at some point. Superb audio. I love the typical 70s kind of military styling. It is portable. I kind of wish it had long wave, but I think this was designed, the ICF 5500M, I think must have been designed for the US market. I'm sure someone will confirm, because it doesn't have long wave. It has FM, shortwave, marine and medium wave. So, but nevertheless, a bargain for 30 quid, and a radio that I like a lot. So there you go, there they all are. The 2001's a bit difficult to use at home. It's so susceptible to noise that, even with the TVs off, all you hear is a sort of constant annoying buzzing. It's not as well shielded in terms of its intrinsic design to the later Sony models. So I think probably back in 1980, the sort of typical noise floor wasn't minus 100 dBs. It was probably more like minus 140. So it doesn't work very well as a portable use indoors on shortwave anymore. Times have moved on, and there's just too much noise. And as a result of that, it hasn't had a lot of use. But at some point, I need to make the effort and actually take it out on a DX-pedition to see what this, the first ever portable digital shortwave receiver can actually do. I know the performance won't be as good as the 2001D, but it will still be nevertheless an interesting experiment. So there you go. Okay, well, I thought you might enjoy that, a little trip down memory lane with these various Sony radios that I am grateful to own. And at some point they'll all appear on the channel again soon, hopefully. So there you go. All right, well, thanks for watching.